Yesterday, I did a video about J. Cole pulling up on Cam, discussing their lawsuit because we know the whole lawsuit situation. Now, that was just a preview. The actual interview itself has came out. Now, we're going to react to certain clips here, the clips that have been going viral. This is going to be this is a legendary interview either way. I haven't watched the whole thing. I already know that there's going to be a legendary interview. The way they set it up is going to make it extra legendary. But let's talk about what he said in these clips. Let's go ahead and let some of these go. ISO cam. We're going to give it. No, actually, no. We don't need the ISO cam. Let's go.
The Drake and Kendrick thing got totally out of hand. Do you think it spiraled out of control?
The world right away.
By the way, before we get into that, according to the statistics, it's only about 20% of the people watching this are subscribed, and only because they be forgetting to hit the subscribe button, and that is a super truth. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Making sure y'all remember, I've had so many people since I've been doing this being like, oh my goodness, I definitely forgot to hit that button. I thought I was subscribed. And some people be like, I'm sure I was subscribed, and I unsubscribed. Hit that button. We're trying to get to 2 million subs, man. Let's go.
Right away, the world became like politics. Right. You're either Democrat or Republican. Right. You're either Kendrick or you Drake. And you got to pick a side, boom, boom. And I felt like the nigga that was like disgusted both ways damn near. You know what I mean? So when you say, did it get out of hand, it's like, creatively, that's not my place to say.
Right.
But I think the out of hand that I think is like, to me, is like disgusting how people try to use that opportunity, either show how they really felt about Drake the whole time,
right,
or just like pile on
that's a fact.
And tear this dude down.
Here's another thing too, to all the people being like, why are you talking about? J. Cole is clearly doing a press run where he's talking about the apology and the battle. So I don't want to hear anybody. This is the same thing with the Drake stuff where the OVO stands, were trying to make it out like everybody else was dragging the beef, but then every time Drake does something, it's involving the beef and he's using that as a part of his rollouts and stuff. It's crazy. So, I mean, you are using, so yeah, we're going to keep talking about it because you keep talking about it. Now, here's the thing. I agree, actually, with a lot of what he said, actually. When this thing cracked off, it did become political. It did become a sides thing. But there's a good and a bad of that. There's a obviously the stand side of it where people's whole identity is just the artist. Like they're on social media, they don't have any pictures of themselves. Their name is something that has to do with the artist that they're obsessed with. Their profile picture is something about that artist. Their banner or something about. They literally don't have an identity on social media about that artist. So yeah, that's a mental health illness. But what I'm saying is, it did split, but there was an actual genuine reason it split. And I don't want this narrative to be retold. The reason why it split was because it was a split between the old guard or the old side or what we perceived of what was important in hip-hop and the shift of what was newly becoming important in hip-hop. This happens every time. I know people be freaking out and hypochondriacs, but I'm saying this happens every time there's a guard shift in hip-hop. It happens every time. Kanye West and 50 Cent, that was that. If you go back to that time, it was split. Now, most people are on Kanye's side, but it was a split. So this happens. This happens when you split the MC Hammer and the, was it NWA? I can't, but it splits. It happens. It happens. Now, what Drake represented and the side that Drake represented, the people were getting tired of that. The people, and it's not just because of hip hop. Hip hop had gotten pretty stagnant sound wise, and we've been listening to the same sounds for like trap music had not evolved in like a decade plus. It was time for a change. Now he's saying he feels disgusted at how Drake was being treated. Now that's his prerogative to feel however he feels. And obviously, I'm gonna have a different opinion on some of that. But is there some people who went at, like, used this as their opportunity to get at Drake? Absolutely. And would not have done this had it be this moment? Absolutely. But are there also genuine people who saw a new side of Drake? Absolutely. 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 And this whole consistent, I got something else to say about Kendrick too at the end of this, but this whole consistent just victimizing is just like, yo. But I feel what you're saying, but like, I love that Kendrick don't behave like this. I really do.
And tear this dude down and like create a narrative as if he's not great. It was a whole campaign and probably still is to this day.
Right.
So on one hand, it's like, yo, I feel weird and they're gonna make headlines out of this. Just like when I see Kendrick get the moment he had, the pop out, the stadium, the Super Bowl,
the Grammys.
I'm like, I'm just as proud of this nigga as I was when I knew him back then. But I also hate that for Drake. And I hate how the world turns on him. And simultaneously, I'm over here like, man, I hope Iceman go crazy.
Okay, so, that's Cole's side about it. He hates that Drake had to take the L that he had to took at the level that he took. But this is what I was going to say. This is what I really like. Because no matter how you split it, Kendrick is more like I am, right? Where, have you noticed since this battle, mind you, the first shot of this battle was first person shooter, if you guys don't remember. So Kendrick was somewhere eating a bowl of cereal and heard that we the greatest. Me and him are the top two. Nobody else can top us. He went, what? When you know there's a big three narrative, you go, what? So then he fired it. And then, what's the craziest part is, even though J. Cole retracted his diss track after he got the backlash that he didn't like. Okay, cool. But at a point, you did fire at Kendrick. You can't act like that didn't happen. You did. So there was one point in this battle where it was 2v1 openly. It was Drake and J. Cole, even if they weren't on the same team, it was Drake and J. Cole going in. Now notice how the two people who fired the first shot, right? Maybe if they didn't even know they're firing, who went first, and then the two people who both dropped diss tracks on Kendrick's are now the ones acting like they were the victims. I love the fact Kendrick is just be chilling. Kendrick just be rapping. I went and listened to Whacked Out Murals again yesterday. I will tell people, I don't think we analyze Whacked Out Murals enough. He is not only talking about Drake in that. There are some blatant lines where you go, wait, who else could he possibly be talking about? He said something, wait, Drake didn't do this. Who? But like I said, J. Cole, that's his prerogative. He's Brother Teresa. So he just wants everybody to get along, this, that, and the third. Now, here's a clip of them talking about the lawsuit that they had together, Cam and J. Cole. Now, this is the one I really wanted to see, too. Now, I've heard Cole speak about this Drake and Kendrick stuff so much since Port Antonio. I get his point now. I get his side, right? I get his side. I still don't get his actions, but this is what I really want to see, the confrontation.
Let's get the elephant out the room. So when you first seen the lawsuit, what was your emotion when you see it?
I was like hurt, almost disappointed, like, because I got so much respect for you, you know what I mean? And I look at you like I know you are as a stand-up person. When the lawsuit come out, I'm like, come on, Cam. Right. And only because it was like, in my mind, I'm like, bro, right, you really could have hit me. Like, although it was taking a long time, I don't give a fuck if you would have called me and been like, yo, nigga, what the like you could have.
But technically, Cam did say he hit him up. That's why I got to see them talk about it, because he did say he hit you. Remember with my chakra not right? He said he hit you up multiple times. So was Cam lying about that? Because
scraped on me, we could have argued, boom, boom. I would have preferred that than the other way, because I was just like, damn, Cam, it never got to that point where you couldn't like holler at me or whatever.
Right.
So my first thing was disappointment. And my first thought was like, fuck it then. Like this nigga ain't even know I was still gonna come to his show.
Right.
Like, my first gut reaction, like, damn, and it's like misinformation, the lawsuit itself, and the internet running with it. People hit me like, yo, what's going on with the Cam shit? Boom, boom. So like my ego reaction is like, all right. Quietly, I'm like, man, fuck this nigga, boom, boom.
Right.
But quickly, I'm like, but nah, like, I get it though. Let me put myself in his shoes. Like, yo, the nigga feel like he was getting a runaround. Right. You know what I mean? He don't know you for real. And Cam mind is probably like, I seen this movie before. Right. You don't fuck with me. You don't want to do the favor. You trying to drag me out until I don't want to do it no more. Right. All right, nigga, bet. And I got one in the chamber. Right. I never signed that paperwork for that fucking for that verse. So here you go, boom, just to like hit me in the rib. You know what I mean? And it's like, I still said in my mind, I was like, yo, I'ma still go see Cam.
And which, of course, it was never going to go nowhere, but for me, it was more like, I need to get this nigga attention.
He said it was a cry for help. But, okay, so even in this clip, I'm still a bit confused, and J. Cole doing that, like, talking out of both sides thing a little bit, where I go, okay, wait, so did Cam get the runaround or did he not? You said, yeah, he feels like he's getting a runaround. So if he contacted you or contacted somebody who should have reasonable access to you and he wasn't, and he was getting the answers that he said he was getting, then Cole, whether or not, I'll even shoot you the bell, say, whether or not you were trying to give him the runaround, you was giving him the okie doke. Whether or not, like, yeah, it's cool to now go, yeah, I mean, he didn't know I was still gonna come. It goes, that's like that day where someone owes you money for a long time and you keep asking, you keep asking, you keep asking, you keep asking. Then you finally gotta put hands on him. Then you finally, and then all of a sudden, nigga got the money. You ain't know I was just about to pay you. So it is what it is. Those are the two clips I wanted to look at. I'm definitely gonna have to watch the rest of that interview. Yeah, like I said, Cole is coming to Drake's defense. Da, 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 da. But it is what it is. I don't think listening to Whacked Out Mirrors, I think some of the way that you're behaving now in this is exactly what makes Kendrick upset, according to the way that he was talking. So I get it. At this point, Cole is Cole, bro. I'm not gonna stop listening to Cole's music. Cole has not fallen as a technical rapper, lyrically, music maker. He's not. It's only just his positioning. And that really is a conversation for the real hip hop heads. A lot of people who don't understand why this is a thing, it's because you're not hip hop heads. And that's fine. That's fine. But this debate is going to be for the barbershop. This is going to keep happening. Understand it. That's hip hop. Like I said, we still debate Nas and Jay. So, Ether versus Takeover. You feel me? So, it is what it is. Shout out to Cole for that. I know that's going to be a legendary interview, though. But you're going to catch this hilarious thumbnail. I got a Photoshop, baby. Oh, and shout out to the people who think that I'd be AI generating my thumbnails. Boy, that's a great compliment. Y'all think I just write prompts and shit? That's a great compliment, man. Fire. Shout out to y'all.